Connection, an all-in-one podcast that touches upon a variety of topics ranging from sports to TV shows. Here are your hosts, Carlin and Corey.
All right, hey guys, welcome to the CNC Connection. This is Corey Moquin here with my best friend and lover, Colin Hensel. We also have guest Joe Paul on tonight to talk some Mad Men.
Boo!
So yeah, last night's episode, Guilt and Aftermath, kind of shocked the Mad Men viewing community last night. What do you want to talk about that, Colin?
Well, obviously the big point of the episode, Lane Price ends up hanging himself at the end. But that was caused by his embezzlement, where Don tries to give him a way out, but he ends up, I don't know, feeling too much shame, I guess, to...
he's a very sensitive guy, and apparently he took it too far. But the big crux of this episode, I guess, is was Don in the right by asking him to resign? Joe, what do you think?
I think he meant well, and I think he was trying to show some integrity. Because I mean, the last few episodes, the whole place has just gone to crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, the whole thing with Joan and Peg's left, and so he's just probably feeling like the place has no soul or integrity anymore. So then he finds out that Lane's been basically stealing money. So he feels he has to take a stand somewhere, but I think it was excessive asking him to resign. But
no, definitely, I agree.
But that was his way of it would only be between, nobody would know why he was leaving.
No, yeah, I agree. I feel like he was obviously trying to do the right thing, but at the same time, this Lane basically put all his money into the company. If he wasn't there, the company wouldn't exist. And like you said, it was his money anyways.
Well, yeah, because he thought he was getting the bonuses.
Yeah.
And he just advanced them himself.
Yeah.
But counterfeited Don's signature. I think that's what the big point Don had.
Yeah.
He couldn't trust him anymore. I thought, if I was in Don's situation, I would have let him go and, pay the money back or something. But I feel like that's Don's characteristics, just cutthroat, just kind of...
Yeah.
And he kind of was, trying to give him a way out so he didn't embarrass him in front of everyone. And
no, yeah, I agree that he was being nice by, the way he did fire him, but at the same time, I don't think he should have been fired. I mean, let's look at Don over here. He's a deserter who stole someone's identity, He had a second chance in life. Why not Lane, I mean, for what Lane did, it was kind of cumbersome compared to fucking what Don did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was excessive. And, but I knew that whole situation was going to end horribly, but I didn't think it was going to be suicide.
Yeah,
I thought he would just disappear.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to come in and Lane was just going to be gone, disappeared. But
it definitely shocked. They really shocked a lot of people. I think. I don't think anyone was expecting to see Lane dead after that episode.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect going in, and kind of coming out. It's that Lane was a big point, but I feel like there was other things going on. Sally was a big part of this episode.
Yeah.
And just Don, just getting back into his normal Don mode where he's trying to get the best clients and everything.
Basically, the creators of Mad Men just grabbed the viewers' balls and just said, we're going into fucking crazy Mad Men mode, and we're going to start upping what's going on in this season.
Yeah,
it definitely felt they upped the tempo more in this episode. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it really... Well, I called the whole Jaguar not starting thing. I don't even know if it was a Jaguar. I think it was.
Yeah, it was.
I knew they were going to do that because Cooper made the assertion before that it was just a lemon, they don't start.
Yeah.
So I thought it was pretty funny, but I thought that'd be the end of it. Oh wow, maybe I should just live now. But then he just decides to go to the office and hang himself.
Yeah, I remember saying I think he's gonna go hang himself when he was going in, and and you were surprised at that, but
He did.
yep. And then the other storyline in the episode was Glenn, creepy Glenn,
Yep.
hanging out with Sally. Actually, Glenn's played by Matthew Weiner's son.
Son.
So that's kind of weird.
Joe, did you know that?
Whose son?
The creator, Matthew Weiner?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's his son.
Yeah, and the big question I think this episode is, even before Lane, is how creepy is his mustache?
Yeah, I mean, it's just not a good mustache.
Yeah, I feel like anytime he's on screen, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Because it's just such a creepy,
So weird. Like, the
character.
whole thing with him and Betty was just the... just
Yeah.
not good TV. It was good TV, but it was just fucking weird.
I had that like suspicion that something weird was gonna happen when him and Megan were alone, and I
Yeah,
don't
you
know
never
what was
know.
going on. That's kind of like Mad Men though in general. You never know what's gonna happen. It's always like you're in suspense. Like something wrong is gonna
Yeah.
the worst that can possibly happen is gonna happen.
But the payoff is never really that great. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that crazy. But then you get to this episode and fucking... We have a suicide, you know? And that's actually the second time someone's hung himself because of Don. You know, this has got to start getting to Don's conscience eventually, right?
Yeah, you have to think. I mean, you see him at the end of the episode letting Glenn drive his car.
Yeah.
Something's going on. He's obviously feeling something. So, Don, I originally thought this whole season was going to be about Don cheating again, but I think this episode kind of proves I was wrong,
Yeah.
because it's really more about the times changing. I think Don's getting a little left behind because what's that guy's name? The Jewish guy that's good.
Ginsburg?
Ginsburg's kind of showing him up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking back to the scene where he dreamt about killing that girl, and that proved that he would kill someone because he cheated with her, on her. So I don't think he's going to end up cheating actually.
Yeah, it could be a really big turn. Who knows? Like, Joe, you were discussing today about the season finale.
Yeah, it just seems like at this point it's got to be anticlimactic because what else can they do?
I like the term you used. They blew their wad too early.
Yeah, a lot of shows are doing that recently. Like Game of Thrones did that.
Yeah, with the battle.
Granted, they had a lot of stuff to wrap up, but the battle was not the season finale. It was
Yeah. It was more
right
like the
before.
climax and the resolution.
And The Wire used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
Where they would have the second to last episode, it was just the big thing. A main character dies, and then the final episode is to wrap up everything,
Wow.
which I kind of liked. So maybe that's what they're gonna do, because I mean they do have a lot of stuff to wrap up. Like I thought maybe we'd see Peggy in this episode. We didn't see her at
No,
all.
I think I made it in the first episode that Peggy was never in. I mean, I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but it's definitely one
it
of
could be true. Trying to think, maybe
because when I think of Mad Men, it's always Don and Peggy. You know.
yeah, it might have been maybe when Don went to like California. Maybe she wasn't in there.
Yeah, it's true too.
But yeah,
she's
it's
definitely one of the main characters, and it's rare not to see her on the show. Is the
definitely.
point?
And getting back to Betty,
Oh yeah.
I kind of get bored with that storyline.
I think everyone's getting bored with the storyline. I agree. Just
Yeah, I just
nothing
don't
is
want-
happening.
I don't really care about her anymore.
Yeah,
But it was kind of weird. She got her there. And,
You're breaking up on us.
she got all freaked out and she ran home, and Betty was just eating that up because now she's all obsessed on her mom.
Yeah.
yeah. You kind of saw Sally kind of wanting to stay with Megan, and then once she had her period this episode, she ran home to her mom. But
I feel like a lot of shows overuse the whole period storyline.
yeah,
Maybe that's just because we've watched too much Degrassi, but I don't know. It just seems like it's been like every show does it now.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe because we're men, we just don't find a big deal out of it. But
I've always liked Sally. I feel like she's interesting just because she, I don't know, just her relationship with Don, because Don's just like
the worst parent.
yeah, him and Betty were the worst.
Yeah.
But just how he has to change his personality sort of being around her.
But he's always like so cynical with her and stuff.
Yeah.
He's never like this happy, like positive, supporting father. He's always just talking to her like she's an adult, and he's always disappointed in her.
Yeah. There was that episode where she snuck all the way to New York. I think it was last season, and like Don was just like, "You're going home," and she was like freaking out because she hated it so bad, and Don didn't even like consider like her feelings at all.
No.
Like obviously, if she's fucking throwing a hissy fit about how much she doesn't want to go home, there's something wrong, you know.
Right.
And they never addressed that in the show, so I don't know what they're doing with that whole storyline. But
yeah, so I just don't know what they're going to do with the last episode unless they just kind of wrap things up and but you know, maybe there's going to be another big thing. Maybe somebody else is going to leave or
yeah.
something.
Well, they were talking about that in the show. They're like, they almost fired Ken Cosgrove, you know? I mean, like, how many people are they going to get rid of? I thought at one point. It's like, this is getting kind of out of control. They're just getting rid of their whole base.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. There's a couple things they have to wrap up. I think they're going to have to put Peggy in.
Yeah.
See what's happening with that. What else? Oh, the new company, the Dow Chemicals.
Yeah.
If they're going to get that. And I think Don's, just his character is going to be, something's going to happen because it hasn't really done anything. I feel like it's been leading up to something. That elevator scene just drives me crazy the whole time when he tries to go back down the elevator.
Joe, what did you take away from that scene with the elevator a couple of episodes back?
I don't know. They were clearly trying to send some kind of message, but I don't really know. I'm not really sure what it is. It could be the kind of deal where he was supposed to die there, and from then on he's kind of playing with the house's money, but I don't know. I read something about it. People were speculating, but I don't remember anything interesting.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I just thought he was going, like, as soon as she left the work, like, she was leaving the job, I thought he was going to go try and cheat on her or something because he hit the down arrow right away, but I don't know what it was leading to.
Yeah, I mean, everyone can draw their own, like, conclusions from that. It's obviously meant to be taken separate ways, otherwise they would have made it conclusive. But, yeah, I don't know what they're going to do for the next episode. It's really going to be an interesting one. Because after that, you know, what are we going to watch for a couple weeks, you know?
Yeah, there's really nothing coming up until Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Breaking Bad in July.
That's not too bad, though.
No, I mean, we're going to have to suck it up, I guess. But, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to watch Game of Thrones. I watched the first episode.
Oh, yeah?
Nice.
How'd you like that?
It was pretty intense.
Yeah, the first one is good. It gets you right into it.
And after that, kind of dips down, I felt like, but...
Yeah, it's a lot of getting to know the characters. They have to do a lot of, I don't know how to say it, but it's just like background. A lot of background.
Yeah, so did anything else major happen this episode? Other than Lane killing himself and Sally getting her period?
There was something that made me laugh. I was trying to remember what it was, but I couldn't remember.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now.
It was something in the partners meeting, I think.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
It's something ridiculous. Actually, I don't know. It was... Yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, there wasn't really anything else. We don't really know what's going on in the show.
There's that guy, the other guy that's trying to sabotage Campbell.
Which one? Oh, Ken?
Ken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting. Just have no meetings. You can't have any meetings with them.
Yeah, well, the whole show, like, Pete's been, like, this little jealous bitch towards Ken, and Ken just, like, doesn't give a shit because he knows he's better. And finally, Ken shows him a atrocity towards Pete for the first time, and I like that.
Yeah, and you know Roger Sterling wants to get Campbell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No one likes Pete.
So I wonder if they're setting something up for the final episode or for next year.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Is there any ceiling? Like, do we know? Like, do they only have a set number of seasons left, or is it just open and open?
I think they just signed for at least 2 more seasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it might even be more.
Wow. That can be interesting to see how it goes into the 70s and stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what he's aiming for, is to get... What are they at now?
66.
Yeah, I think he at least wants to get to like 69 and 70, but we'll see. See what happens with Don Draper.
Yeah. All right, so that's all the time we have on this segment of the CNC Connection. We'll see you next time for the season finale next week. Hopefully we'll have Joe Paul on again to discuss some Mad Men.
All right. Take care, you guys.
All right.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you for coming on. Bye.